Hello, everybody, and welcome into tonight's Mountaineer Postgame Show. I'm Schuyler Callihan. West Virginia winning it 70-38 over the Mercyhurst Lakers and improving to 6-2 on the regular season. It was a defensive clinic for the Mountaineers for the most part, particularly in the second half. We'll get to those numbers in just a second. But look here at some of the individual performances. Chance Moore led the way with 11 points. A bunch of guys got involved offensively, so not a huge scoring night for anybody. But he nearly finished with a double-double with 11 points, 9 rebounds. Trayson Eaglestaff, a second straight game offensively for him where he saw the ball go through the hoop. He almost had a double-double as well with 9 and 8. Actually second in rebounds behind Chance Moore. And then you had Amir Jenkins, who had 10 points on 4 of 7 shooting, also chipped in 3 rebounds and 3 assists. The Mountaineers shot 47% from the field, only 28% from 3. Obviously need to see that incline a little bit. But I thought for the most part, this was all centered around taking care of business, playing well on the defensive end of the floor, rebounding, eliminating second chance opportunities, and they did that. Mercyhurst only had 6 offensive rebounds, 8 second chance points. So when they did bring it down, they didn't convert very often and had a 44-27 advantage on the glass over Mercyhurst, which is what you would expect because they had no size whatsoever, and their biggest man on the floor was 6'8", and he didn't even play today. I don't believe. If he, yeah, I'm looking at the stats here now, and I don't even see the 6'8" man even check into the game. So they were very undersized. West Virginia did what they were supposed to do. And when you look at first half versus second half for Mercyhurst in particular, they go 57% in the first half from 3, only 4 of 7, but 37% from the field. That dwindles all the way down to 16% from 3 in the second half and 29% from the field. So just a really good job by West Virginia holding the Lakers to just 16 points there in the final 20 minutes. And I thought they just played really well. They were connected. It felt at times maybe earlier in the game there was some miscommunication, especially when somebody got crossed up in a ball screen or just things got muddied up inside. But they bounced back and did really well, especially in that towards the end of the first half, and that carried over to the second half. But Jackson Fields, how about him for his debut? Puts in 9 points, 3 rebounds, goes 3 of 5 from the field. And what I really loved about him is not just the fact that he was able to score it, but man, does he move around on the offensive end of the floor. And that's something that this team desperately needs. It's something that every team needs. You need to have a guy that can put his back to the basket, can fight for position, and constantly move and not just be someone that just is stationary underneath. You've got to have some of that mobility, somebody that can stretch the floor. It makes it even more dangerous. And for him, he can certainly do that. He attempted 1-3 tonight. It didn't go in, but man, the shot looked good. Like the stroke, the motion, just everything looked smooth. So you can see that he's going to have the ability to knock down some shots. His length, his athleticism is really going to help on the glass and defensively. I thought he defended really well. It's a very, very strong start for him. And unfortunately, as I mentioned in my stock up, stock down article, this is going to take away some minutes for DJ Thomas, who has been a very good piece in that front court as a true freshman. It's not like he's going to completely lose his role, but his minutes are going to significantly decrease. And that's a good problem to have if you're Ross Hodge because you know how brutal this Big 12 is. You can never have enough guys in that front court, and having 3 that you feel really good about, maybe even 4, you're in a good spot. And I'm just talking purely at guys that can play the center spot in the 4. And you can obviously move Chance Moore to the 4, who had another solid game as well, getting downhill. But Jackson Fields, man, I loved what I saw from him, just moving around, moving without the ball, moving away, and just his actions away from the basketball, just constantly moving around, trying to get into position. We're making something happen, making or setting a screen at the top of the perimeter, just doing whatever he can to be active at all times. And then Amir Jenkins, I'm telling you guys, this kid is really coming along, and I am really intrigued to see what his ceiling is at WVU because this kid's got it. And as I mentioned also in the Rapid Takeaways article, Emmett Matthews pointed this out, so I can't take credit for it, but he compared him to Deuce, and ever since he made that comparison, I can't help but see it. Like every time he's out there, I see a young Deuce McBride. I really do. He is a nonstop, just 100 mile per hour energizer bunny on the defensive end. He can do some things that are very crafty with the ball when he's trying to maneuver through the trees in the paint and get to the cup, and he can finish with some finesse. And now you're starting to see the 3-point shot go down just a little bit. He knocked down 2 tonight. He had 1 the other night as well in Charleston. So if the 3-point shot becomes something that he can actually go to, not like a high 20s, low 30s% type of shooter. If he can become like a 33, 34, 35% 3-point shooter, he's going to be a absolute handful because he can do it all. I mean, he's a well-rounded player. That's really the one piece of his game. I think it's still coming, and very similar to Deuce. When he was a young buck at West Virginia, you knew he was going to play defense. You knew he was going to, do his thing in rebounding, even though he was a guard. But and he could do some things offensively. It's just the 3-point shot wasn't as polished right out of the gate as it is now, and as it was maybe when he left Morgantown. And I think that's kind of the same thing here with Amir. You can see it's there. It's a confidence thing. It's getting more reps, and it's going to happen. But I think the kid's trending in the right direction. I think he's going to be a massive piece to what Ross is going to do here with this group moving forward, and that includes this year. Like I really do believe he's going to be a key point of this team's success and whether or not they can get to the NCAA tournament. So that's pretty much all I have tonight, folks. 70-38. There was not a whole lot to really dissect in this one, and I really don't have a whole lot of takeaways from this one. That's why in my article I only had 3 different points I wanted to get across. It's just, no disrespect to Mercyhurst, but not a whole lot you can extract from this one. So West Virginia takes care of business, gets back in the win column, snaps the 2-game slide, and they'll be back in action on Wednesday night, which I assume is probably going to be much of the same against Coppin State, who's one of the worst teams in all of college basketball, according to Ken Palm. So expect another pretty easy breezy night for the Mountaineers here in a few nights in Morgantown. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode here of the Mountaineer Postgame Show. Click that like and subscribe button here on the channel at West Virginia on SI. I apologize for no between the ears earlier this morning. Had a bunch of internet issues at my family's house. So we've got that all straightened out. I'm back home now, so we'll get that back into our normal schedule between the ears. Tuesday and Wednesday will be the National Signing Day show that we'll have here on the channel. So make sure you stop in for that. We're going to have a couple of signees on to talk about their decision and the future of the program and a whole lot more on the evaluation of that 2026 class. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you back here on Tuesday.